Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for educational purposes only. For legal and financial advice, please seek help from a licensed professional. Thank you. Today's show is also sponsored by IAR Property Solutions. If you're looking to sell, buy, or renovate your property, IAR will be by your side through the merry real estate ride. Welcome to the Humble Hustle Podcast. My name is Antoine Basquiat, and I will be your host for today's episode.
Get it cracking up. But this is what's up, man. I'm excited to do this. I was like, hell yeah, boy.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be pretty good, man. You might even want to do another one.
Fact. Hey, no, that's fact.
But let me go ahead and give you your flowers, man, because to be honest, Josh, I don't know how much you know about Lionel and how much you kind of gone over the notes and everything like that. But this man right here, his focus, his drive is incredibly insane. He can go to sleep at 3 a.m. and wake up at 4 a.m.
Ready to
nothing
go.
happened. Ready to go. And this man, listen, Lionel Rice, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, man. You got a long list of accolades down your list, So correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me. You got all these letters. You got MS, LAT, ATC, PSC, CES. For those people that don't know, he's gone to a lot of schooling. Master of Science, that's what that is. Licensed athletic trainer, certified athletic trainer, performance enhancement specialist, corrective exercise specialist. Originally from Bronx, New York.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Currently in Salt Lake City, Utah. He attended King's College, where we first met, played football together.
Yeah, bro.
Penn West, California, A.T. Still University of Health and Science. That's where, you got a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate. So you got to add that DR too.
Yeah,
athletic training.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Not only from the professional level, but started in the collegiate level of King's College, California University of Pennsylvania, Bethune-Cookman University, University of Texas at San Antonio, and UNT Health Science at San Antonio, Michigan State University, and on the professional level, Minnesota Vikings, Jacksonville Jaguars, and currently Utah Jazz. Did I get it everything?
You got it all, man. You got it all. That doctorate, I did finish the doctorate, so the only thing that I keep forgetting, bro, appreciate it, man. So I finished that. It's funny because couple, I just, me, I'm a super humble person, but like when students be emailing me that want to know more about this, they be like, Dr. Rice, and I'll be like, shit, I got to change that on all my platforms. I'll be forgetting. I just know somebody that wanted me to be on the education committee for our profession organization, and they was like, hey, you got to add doctor, and I was like, oh, shit, I forgot. I shouldn't forget what the amount of damn work it was, but yeah.
Well, it's like at least it was a few years, right? Like I feel like you've been doing it for a while.
But I did it in 2.5. So I started in 2022, March 2022, and I finished in June 2024. So yeah, bro, like it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I appreciate it.
Now you can tell your students and then our audience just watch this podcast and they'll explain it right now, because right now, first question up is really just for the people that don't know, just in your own words, just explain to us what is athletic training.
So the biggest thing, man, I'm is with athletic training, it's something that's a special, very, very special profession, man. Like it gives back to you in many ways. The one thing I always say is that, it gives back to you in many ways, more than monetarily, more than, money in your pockets type profession. And as much schooling as we go through, bro, like it's something that's been fighting for, disclaimer, has been something that's been really, it's a topic that's been fought for so much in our profession, of the amount of hours, the amount of sacrifice that we do each day. But I say that to say this, athletic training is a service profession. It's so cool, and the experiences that we are given when you have so much passion in this, and when you have, the drive, and you have the proper intentions, no matter what level it is, when you become an athletic trainer, you realize that you want to do more for other people than yourself. You want to become
Mm-hmm.
selfless. And, I feel like that's kind of the highest, stage in life that you could reach when you could give so much to other people other than, obviously than just your family and your loved ones. You could give so much to other people that you just met in a matter of a week. Like, it's crazy. So, that's just from that standpoint of personal, but professionally, athletic trainers, we're healthcare providers, man. Like, we are the first ones on the scene. We got the best seats in the house when it comes down to sporting events. Like, we're the first ones that see a player at their highest success, but we also see an athlete at their lowest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we when somebody gets injured and what they love is taken from them. Like, we were athletes, bro. You know how it is, man. Like,
Yeah.
when you in it to win it, and you pouring everything into it, and something's taken away from you very temporarily that you love, or that's putting money in your pockets, we're the ones that need to get them back, we're also huge advocates of each other. We're huge advocates for our athletes. We make sure that they get the best healthcare, make sure that they get the best performance care. We're there with them at their appointments. We're teaching them lessons throughout life. We're showing them new phases of life. When it comes down to being an athletic trainer, we are versatile. We're Swiss Army knives. We could fix a battery for our gator that gets us from point A to point B on a college campus, but at the same time, we are CPR and first aid certified as the world seen with Damar Hamlin a couple of years ago. Believe it or not, some people still didn't know what athletic trainers were or what we did before that unfortunate event happened. So um, we are at the front line of healthcare, not just for athletes. We're in the industrial setting. We're at the we're in airports when we're helping people who do all the baggage claims, and we're taking care of them. We're in clinics. We're in surgical rooms. Like,
Mm.
we're everywhere, man. And I think the biggest thing, that we're at performing arts, Cirque du Soleil. Like, we're everywhere. So everywhere where you see some type of activity or some type of physical movement or some type of working out, an athletic trainer is somewhere in there, and you may not be able to identify them, but somewhere, some behind every single active individual or professional athlete, collegiate athlete, high school athlete, youth sports athletes, or even in the hospitals, man. Like, there's athletic trainers everywhere. And the biggest thing is that we just love to be of service, and we just love to be selfless. Like, we thrive off of giving back in all types of ways. So that's the biggest thing about athletic trainers. We're frontline healthcare workers that helped out with bringing sports back from COVID, and
Mm.
that's a big accolade that in the time being was very, 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 very stressful. But I look back at it now and I'm like, yo, like, where I was at that point of time of collegiate, D1 collegiate, these D1 collegiate athletics, like, the world shut down, and we was part of that crew that had to sit on meetings with admin, that had to sit on meetings with a bunch of people, doctors, just to try to bring sports back. Like, it's crazy. So I love it. You know how much I love this profession, because at the same time, just to close out on that question, it helps me give back to y'all. Like, you bringing your family to a game, and y'all
Yeah.
close, y'all super close, and y'all get the best seats in the house just because of this profession is awesome. My own kids and wife and fam, it's the same thing, bro. Like, seeing my kids run through that tunnel and dap up these players and everything, like, it's amazing. There's things that that we didn't get to have growing up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. So it doesn't, overall, the profession is moving in the right direction of salary and paying how athletic trainers need to get paid, especially with holding 3 degrees. We're getting the respect that we need from other healthcare professionals that felt like we was the little brother of healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Now we stepping now, and it's awesome just because at the end of the day, I know, I don't know, like, I could tell you right now, I know, and I'm not trying to throw no shade on no other um, professions, but I know a chiropractor who's sitting in the clinic that writes me on Instagram and says, "Man, like your life is amazing, bro. Like I see how your son and your daughter are loving the games and all that." And I know that that person's a multi six-figure person just from the skills that they possess. But I'm like, yo, like sometimes the payment is better in experience. Like I'm hopping on a chartered plane, like I'm
Yeah.
seeing the world, bro. I get to see y'all, like I get to see family members throughout the season just from where we go, man. So like just like anything athletic training, being selfless, it pays you back in many ways rather than just a bunch of money in your pockets. And don't worry, like food still got to go on the table, but it pays you back like in so many very glorious ways when you do it the right way and when you give back to it the right way.
Well, I think, man, I think everything that you said is it just speaks a lot about your character and who you are as a person. And for those that don't know you, I'm going to say it for them and to help them understand what you said too, because this guy right here is honestly the most selfless person, the person that will try give your shirt off his back just to so you can do what you got to do and survive. You know what I mean? And
Right, 100,
I
man.
think I think in your personal profession, like exactly what you said is you're in the service profession. You're there with the people on their lowest lows and the best of times and their worst of times. And I think you are the best person to have them to be by their side because you can step into a room no matter where you at and be yourself and that room just lights up. You know what I mean? And
Right.
when you're in a profession like that you're in, I think, and you know what? That's actually going to lead into my next question because listen, your gratitude posts and how humble you are and all of that stuff is just amazing. It honestly brings life to me. And I sit back and like, you know what? Yeah, I have what I wanted last year. I have what I wanted
Yeah,
now. It's like life was better. So, you know, so one of the things you said was no one knows how much you know until they know how much you care. And
right.
I was like, damn.
Hey,
Like,
it's a hey, no, for real, bro. Like, the biggest thing when it comes down to that is like, it's all about relationship building, right? And it just starts off of just like how we've been 15, 20 years plus into this as our brotherhood. You feel me? Like we connected just off of simply like being from New York City and all that stuff. It wasn't just like like he a wide receiver and I'm an offensive lineman. Obviously he know the offense better. He know this. Like it was just off a genuine relationship. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, it's you could be the smartest person. Like I had people at Kings, and it's funny. Like I talk about this all the time, and you know this too. Like, you didn't you. I want to tell you something, Josh. Antoine has seen the day one all the way up to now, and that's why I make sure that him and his family reap the benefits of anything that I could possibly give back to. Like, like they're the first ones that I'm like, yo, I got 2 extra tickets to this. Let me know if you can get there. I know Atlanta is X amount of hours from you, but let me know if you could get there. Just let me know. Like it's things like that. Like they done seen every single level. I done made sure just to give back to them simply because like they done seen me studying hours. I didn't have to sleep on Antoine's floor just to make it to practice, to make it to a game, just because I'm up all night and I know I'm not gonna wake up to an alarm after going to sleep at 4, knowing
yep.
that we got workouts at 7. You know what I'm saying? And like he doesn't see it. So like when I say things like that, like it's just genuine things of like that. I think of things like that. Like I think of like, yo, like you could be the smartest person in there. At first I wasn't the smartest person in my program at Kings, bro. Like I had to like really make it out, like really grind from the bottom and like really put in work. And there was even times where like I just finished talking to Kings a couple weeks ago and we reminisced about like, yo, I was out of 30 of us, they only take 15 in the program.
Mm.
And there was a point my second year there, like sophomore year, when we start applying for that I was like 29 out of 30. And like I literally had to find my like strengths. I had to find my strengths and not just putting in the work and whatnot, but my strengths was that I know how to build relationships with everybody around me, genuine relationships. And it's crazy because even as a young student, like even my mentor from Kings that Antoine knows, he was like, yo, like you just got to this rotation 2 weeks ago and you already got people asking to tape you. Like, what is that? I'm like, not just are we in the same graduating class, but like one of my things in the toolbox that I tell students, when an athlete gets on the table, the first thing I say is, what's up? Good morning, what's up? Dap them up. And I say, yo, how are you today? And they start talking about their injury. And I say, how are you today? How are you? Like, forget the injury. Like, the injury only identifies you as an athlete. How are you? And there's been times at all levels, bro. Like all levels that I've been. There's been times that an athlete gets on the table and I say that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my ankle's fine. Oh yeah, my shoulder's fine. My finger's fine. Like, you know, like yeah, I'm getting better." And I'm like, "Okay, well, how are you doing today?" And they're like, "Yo, I'm having an effed up day. Yo, I've done failed about 5 tests. My teacher's on my behind. My coach is on my behind. I'm thinking I'm losing my spot. I don't know if I'm gonna be here next year." Okay. Well, you know, maybe you just need to take a little breather. So, you know, during this rehab session, I want you to I'm going to guide you on what you need to do to get better. But whatever you need to let out, you let it out. And it's all just, you just vented. And I'll get a therapist. 10 out of 10, I'll get a text later that night saying, damn, I didn't realize how much I needed to say. Like, I appreciate you being a listening ear. And next thing you know, clockwork. Meanwhile, I done been in athletic training rooms where like a person holds all them same letters as me or has more experience in certain areas than me, but nobody want to go on their table because you want to know why they ain't got no bedside skills. How many times have you been to a doctor growing up, bro, and like the bedside skills was just out of there and it's like, yo, I need a new doctor. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild.
2 weeks ago.
It's crazy, right? Yeah, no, like for real. Like, and I think the biggest thing, that's where that's the important part of this too. So, you know, that's a great question because when I say things like that and I say things, nobody knows how much you know until you know how much you care. Because guess what? Like, I'm big on obviously like years of experience get you somewhere, and like obviously perfecting your craft is what's going to keep you going and keep you, you know, keep the ball rolling for you to get better. But you can't build relationships in this. Like, you just a sitting encyclopedia. You just are sitting. You just sitting with degrees. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know how to connect the people to the point where they want to come to you for something that's very important, which is taking care of their bodies, which is getting them back healthy, which is making sure that they don't get injured, which is making sure that I don't know. I had a player text me at some point in my experience that was like, what mattress do you think I should get to make sure that I don't have low back pain? And I'm like,
I ain't gonna lie, I might ask you that too.
Like, you know, that's a curveball. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get that answer for you. Like, so it's not me technically saying I don't know, but the fact that he trusts me just for something like that, it sounds crazy. But like, bro, like I done seen it, and I don't like the thing is, it's not even just me, bro. Like, I done seen it from the best of the best. Like, I got a mentor in this that saved one of his athletes' wives' lives because she had an ectopic pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? And he called him, out of everybody, he called his athletic trainer at 3 a.m. and said, my wife is having extreme pain in the pelvic area, in her stomach. She can't even like get out of a curling ball. And he said, take her to the emergency room and make sure you tell them, call me if anything, and call our team doc if anything. Next day, he admitted to the hospital. They did testing, and she had an ectopic pregnancy where she had to have emergency surgery. Saved her life.
Wow.
That's one of many heroic stories of people that's in this that do it right. You know, I emphasize do it right because there's some that really, you know, they do this with certain intentions. That's not what it is, but that there's prerogative. You know, I'm not throwing no shade on that like that, but like the real ones, like they like, you know, who's really in there. So, you know, that's a great question, bro. But like when I say that and execute that, it's what helps me keep going because at the same time, it helps me build a relationship to them to the point where we could get things done and they're locked in. And then I'm doing my part as an athletic trainer, but at the same time, they know I'm a human being. And I don't care how much money you make, especially since now like collegiate is NIL, but then even being here in the pros, I look at you as a human, my man. Like you got too many, you got cameras in your face. You already got
Yeah.
people with their hands out. You already got people to answer to. And at the same time, you still got to come in here and keep your job. You still got to go out there 82 games of the season and ball out and do your thing. The best that I can do, the best thing that I can do as an athletic trainer is let you know, not just I'm here to make sure I take care of your body and make sure that your healthcare is at the top of the top. Even us as a staff, but like, yo, you're a human being in my eyes, bro. Like, I promise you, you're a human being in my eyes. So that's where it comes from, man.
And I think, in your profession, and we kind of touched on this on the other episode, is that trust thing is a big thing.
Yeah.
And you can really tell who's being genuine and who's not being genuine.
Right.
And I think exactly what you're saying is when you treat these people not only as an athlete but as a person, they're going to open up to you not only about what's going on physically but also mentally, because being an athlete as well, that mental part of it is half the battle right there.
Right.
Because not only are you, once they get to that point of, all right, well, you got me to the point where I can be physically, now you got to help me get to the point where I can trust that I'm okay, and I have to trust you that you know what you're doing, so I can trust my body again.
Right.
And I think that's my next question was going to be what you think was the biggest factor of your success, but I think you already answered it. I think being genuine, giving that trust factor into these athletes and other people, not only the athletes, right? I think you kind of touched on this before, is your network.
Yes.
Putting in the hard work with them too.
I think that's the biggest thing too. So of course, like, the biggest thing that I always say, being authentic, and that's me being genuine, like everything is all genuine. Like it's real. And I think, the realest thing is like even one of the many guys that I take care of here, like he always says, he's like, yo, like I just appreciate you just being genuine. Like, like it's just genuine. Like you could tell that it's genuine. You could tell your energy is genuine. Like you're not faking it or nothing like that. And yeah, these days are long, bro. But at the end of the day, like like it sounds very corny and cliche, but you just never know how your energy is perceived may help somebody else's energy boost, especially when it comes down to return to play. Like when you're trying to return somebody to play, rehab is an up and down emotional roller coaster, no matter what people want to say. And no matter how much these athletes want to show it, they may not show it, but they may go home and they're like, yo, like this is killing me, bro. Like, what the heck? Especially like, like the athletes who are really into it. But I would say, just like you said, bro, like the networking, man, like you don't only go as far as the people that you don't know, like you only gonna go as far as the people that you talk to for no reason. And us New Yorkers, I'm biased against us because like even my boss here, who's amazing, and he's from Brooklyn. He's from East New York. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he's really like one of us, like for real. Like, and he's been in the NBA for like 6-7 years, and he's in a leadership position. And I just think the biggest thing is like I got here because of the Minnesota Vikings internship that I had 10 years ago. To this year, it's been 10 years since I've been with the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, that long?
Crazy,
bro. Crazy.
Yes, bro. Like it's crazy. Like it's been 10 years, really 10 years since graduated from Kings. Went and did that master's degree quick, and then I jumped to the Vikings. Luckily, because of my network at Kings. But fast forward, I got this job because my boss here, like who's awesome, he's like a brother to me too. And not just a mentor and somebody that I look up to, but his name is Jamal, and Jamal went through the same internship that I went through at Minnesota, but 3-4 years before me.
Oh, okay.
And so another great mentor of mine who's with the Cavaliers, named Albert, he was like kind of like our intern boss, like in Minnesota, and he hit me out the blue and was just like, yo, I think this is a great opportunity to you. Like, I wasn't looking to leave Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, a lot, like, the phone was ringing like a good amount. Like, humbly, the phone was ringing like a good amount. But, at the time, I just was like, like, okay, like, that sounds good. That sounds good. But, like, that's not really word. That's like it's some positions with leadership. Some positions was head football athletic trainer, was this, that, and the third. And I'm just like I don't know. Like my intuition just telling me like it's just I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I got that phone call, like, hey, like somebody that I know, he's from New York, head AT for Jazz. Like, he's looking for somebody, and I just immediately thought of you. And I think it's a great opportunity that you should explore. I know you want to jump to basketball at some point. I think this is your chance. You know what I'm saying? And I think the biggest thing is just the fact of the matter is, I tell people that I'm like, you're like, as much as people want to try to pump that I got it by myself, I got it by myself, I got it by myself. I promise you, it's not just because I'm humble, I'm very humble. I didn't get none of this by myself. Like every single step I got from me working hard, from me being a team player, me putting in the work that I put in. But I didn't get to this level just because of myself. I got here because of my work ethic, which is myself. I got here because of the craft that I keep working on, which is what I put together myself to make sure that I got the right tools in the toolbox to stand out. But it's always about who you know. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't always about what you know. Like, it's about who you know. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my network has got me farther than anything. And most of it, just like we keep talking about, just come from being genuine. Most of it just come from just like the smallest deed, bro. Like the amount of times that people tell me, like, hey, like, so this leads into like the last part of this answer for this question is grind and grind passionately, bro. Like these days are long, yes. This like you just asked me, damn, you're not about to be home for a month? Like it's funny to hear, but like it's true. Like at the same time, like a lot of sacrifices go into it as an athletic trainer, no matter what level it is. Like secondary, high school athletic trainers, I respect them to the highest because they're dealing with high school sports. So you're dealing with freshman, junior varsity, and varsity.
Okay, yeah, you're
You're,
right.
you're dealing with volleyball, baseball, football. You're dealing with several sports.
Yeah.
When I had my high school rotation at Kings, respectfully, he was amazing, like awesome, like great mentor, mentored me. And I just remember being there for my rotation for 4 months, and I'm like, yo, this ain't it. But I respect you. For myself, this is not, no, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, the biggest thing is just the fact of the matter is, I think the biggest thing is just understanding how to put your right foot in front of your left foot and just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing. So that's really how I got it. Just being authentic, networking, and just grind passionately. Like grind. Because
That's that's a good one right there. Grind passionately, man. And
yeah.
you honestly, you touched on a lot of things that I was getting ready to ask you too, man. To be honest with you, but one of the biggest things that I kind of wanted to I want to touch on because that was the most recent thing you said
Yeah.
was the grinding passionately. I think, and you, like you said, we've been together for some time now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And this world
Yeah.
is absolutely full of distractions
Yes.
and your grind, like you said, is you grinding passionately, you grinding long days, putting in that hard work, long hours. How do you maintain your level of focus to stay track with all your responsibilities? Because I left this out on the intro, but I want to bring it back up too, because not only are you doing all this, your athletic training and profession and studying and doing all of that, but you also are presenting case studies, doing
Right.
what was that? The Glotta and the
Oh yeah.
and
Yep.
I can't say his name.
Yeah. No. You good. Like to be honest, I just presented this past summer in New Orleans twice at the National Athletic Trainers meeting that we do every year, and that's when everybody's there. So I presented some research with from Michigan State. They were amazing. So like the faculty there, they were amazing with helping me collect some data on like concussions and everything. And my guy here, Jamal, he moderated it. And then also like we have an organization, it's called NBA Athletic Trainers Association. And I was able to present for them too. So I presented a student lab on diagnostic ultrasound. So the ultrasound, yes, like how you do for babies, but instead it's for muscles. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to do a live one there. So like that was awesome. I think the biggest thing that keeps me level headed, is making sure that, one of the downfalls as an athletic trainer, honestly, is spreading ourselves thin. Like spread ourselves thin, and it gets to the point where like I didn't have people in our graduating class, Antoine, that was in my program that dipped out after 2 years. They say, yo, this ain't worth it. This is not it. Like, you know, I just want to do something else. And I'm just like, like personally, I would put in too much work up to this point. Like I'm gonna find a way,
I'm here for good.
live off this salary, this, that, and third. I'm gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like respectfully, like humbly, I'm gonna find a way. Oh, I want to start a family. Okay, well, I'm gonna find a way. Like and I'm not knocking anybody that got to that point, but like you can always find a way. You always gonna find the right employer. You're always gonna find the right situation. May not be the first time, may not be the second time, third time, but if you really love something that you want to do, you're gonna keep going. But respect to the people that understood that it was getting too much for them, because like I said, it doesn't pay as much monetarily, but we get in there. Like we get in there, stakeholders are understanding, admins understanding. So I say that to say this, don't forget your hobbies. Don't forget your hobbies with any profession, bro. Like you can't forget your hobbies. And like I make sure to go back to that. Like even while I was getting the doctorate, and even when I'm like still studying up on some like things that I want to like certifications. Like I got 2 more certifications that I'm still working on that take just a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? Like I still make sure, obviously, like for myself as well, like being a family man, I make sure when I'm at home, I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm at work, I'm at work. And I'm lucky to be enough like in an NBA organization that understands like everybody understands family values. Everybody understands that even in all the midst of the season and the busyness, they implement family here. They like I love it. Like I love the fact that the Jazz like implement family here. They implement um, you know, uh uh making sure that when we are home that we have like we do what we need to do. We take care of the guys and the day's done. You know what I'm saying? Like we make sure, like things like that. Um, I've been places where the work balance life was not all the way there, and I've been places where the work balance life has been amazing, and I'm blessed that I'm here now because this is an NBA organization where people used to tell me the NBA is not it for any type of balance. And once again, what I just said, it can happen. It can happen. Like and that's the thing, like, it's just making sure you stick to your hobbies. So like, yo, I wake up every single day, help help wifey get the kids ready. They go about their day, and then I usually don't have to be in. On game days, got to be in by 7:45 a.m. I still come work out at 6:15. You know what I'm saying? Like I hit the steam room, I hit the sauna, like I make sure to do things like that. Those are things that I love to do. That's what gets my day ready. You know what I'm saying? I hit my workout, hit my lift, and hit the steam room, hit the sauna. So now my day starts off very well because like that's it. Like I did something that not only that athletic training I love to do, but that's my profession. But personally, hobby wise, that's what I love to do. Playing with the kids, being at home, just watching movies, watching shows, things like that. On the road, seeing family like y'all, making sure that I get time like that. But at the same time, yo, still play my PlayStation. You know that, right? You know what I'm saying? Still play my PlayStation, catch up with friends on the phone. Like, I think sometimes people feel like just because they're moving up in the profession that they got to lose their hobbies. And it sounds very corny, but like, don't lose your hobbies. Like, meditate, like things like that. Whatever you love to do outside of your profession and outside what you do for, you do to make money and work, make sure you just don't lose those hobbies. But at the same time, like, you know, we get time off too, like in the off season. Like I always know, and you know this too, bro. When the season's here, the season's here. Like that's it. Like that goes in front of anything. Like it is what it is. As much as I got great people around me, like my VP here, we call him Philly. He's awesome. Like he's great. Like I love him to death. I love our staff to death. Like they're awesome. Like we take care of each other. We do what we need to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? The amount of times that he would say, like, yo, like it's all good. Like you could do it tomorrow. Like I know you gotta get home to the kids. I'm like, nah, bro. Like my wife understands. Like I'm gonna knock this out right now, real quick. Then I'm gonna hit the road to head home. You know what I'm saying? But even in the midst of all that, like in the off season, like after the combine, after summer league, like, yo, we out of the office by 11. Got the whole day with the fam, got weekends off, got days off, got weeks off. We all rotate vacation. So it's just making sure you just take care of yourself in the midst of all of it, bro. And like, I finally got to the point, because that's not something to do, you know, that's not something easy to do. I finally got to the point to be honest, 10 years in this as an athletic trainer professionally, like the last 3 years, I finally got to the point where it's like, all right, find your happy medium through all the organized chaos. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to make sure that you doing what you need to do, that you staying grounded. Because seriously, you could lose yourself. Like you could honestly like get to the point. I didn't seen athletic trainers get to the point where like that's their identity. You know what I'm saying? That's their identity. Like people know me as Lionel the athletic trainer, or Lionel the one that promotes like great things about the profession, or like that handles his business, the athletes, you know, the staff love him and everything. And I'm just being humble in that stage. At the same time, people know me as like, yo, he's a great person to be around outside of it too. Like he the one that's going to make sure people have fun. He's the one that's, you know, he's a family man too. Bring his kids around, bring wife around, you know, things like that. So like, don't let your profession be your identity. And that's the one thing that like people that I mentor, you know, students that I mentor, I let them know, like, don't like love it and give everything to it, because it's gonna give back to you tenfold. But don't let it be your identity. The minute you let it be your identity, as much as things is going well, as much as you are the hardest worker in the room at the same time, what are you outside of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else do you have going on for you outside of it? So I think that's a big thing to do. You feel me?
Man, I think I'm gonna speak for myself for a little bit.
Yeah,
I know
go
the
ahead.
audience is probably feeling the same way, but I think that's the most important part about any profession, about not only being a 9 to 5, not only being an entrepreneur, but also I think more importantly, being a family man, being a dad, being a mom, being a parent. And like you said, 3 years ago is about when I think that's when you just had your well, it was like 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you just became a parent. And I
Yeah,
think
like 3-4 years ago. Yep. Damn,
yeah,
that's
because I
crazy.
think
2020. Damn, 5 years ago.
yeah, damn, 5.
5 years ago, bro.
Wow.
Ain't
But
crazy? It's nuts.
but you know, I think family is one of the biggest things. I know you're a big family man. We both
Yeah,
are.
yeah, please.
And I think that's really the time where you're like, I gotta figure this scheduling thing out. Cause
Facts.
I'm the same way right now. I'm
Oh,
like,
I already
damn,
know how you get down now.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still on the Google calendars and
Bro,
sending invites and
I'm gonna tell you, Josh, I'm gonna tell you, man, he the one, like Antoine is the one that like, yo, like every single idea he ever had came to life just from grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like, every single project he
appreciate it.
ever has comes to life. I'm gonna give you your flowers for a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, like everything he puts his mind to, like it just comes to fruition, bro. It's like I think the biggest thing too, like overall, is just the power of manifestation. Like if I like we want work-life balance, we're gonna do it. And I think the biggest thing for the both of us, speaking from the both of us, just from speculation, is like we never slowed down from the chapter of the life that we ended up entering, of being parents, of being husbands and all that stuff. Like we just found a way to make it work. We found a way to balance it out. We found a way of like, yo, we gotta put that to the side to make sure that we give time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the same time, we didn't realize it. I can't tell you the amount of times that I'm like, I want to knock this project out today. I know
Yeah.
I can get home because the kids are making Liv go crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I want to knock it out today. Like the juices are flowing, and I'm just there, and I'm just like, like
Yep.
I feel like I'm in a studio making a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like it's going down. It's going down. Like I'm just hitting my eureka moment on how to get an athlete to the next phase of their rehab, and then I just got to shut it down because it's like it's gonna take me about 20 minutes to get home, and they got 4 hours left before they go to bed. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Yep.
I shut it down. So there's sometimes literally like I could keep going. I could keep going. I just shut the laptop and just put my bag on and just walk out. Like
Yep.
walk. Cause like
I,
that's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. And this sometimes it's like even if it's like only me and another colleague left in the office knocking some late things out, like that's just what it is. Like it's like the day's over with. Like as much as you want to keep going, you gotta separate it, and that's the biggest thing. I think that's one thing that you know that I give me like not I give us to the pat on the back is that both of us are some go getters, and we understand the power of manifestation, and anything we put our mind to that we're gonna do it regardless. But like it being at this stage in life these last couple of years for us, especially with you being a father of two now too, it's like you understand that yo, that's really the core now. You know,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
the core now. Like at the end of the day, if you wasn't entrepreneur and you wasn't, you know, an innovator and in the real estate and everything, and if I wasn't an athletic trainer at the end of the day for life, we're fathers and we husbands. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we got little ones calling us dad, and we got to make sure that we raise them and pour into them just as much as we pour into what we do. So you know, no, you are completely right, bro. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But it can happen because like we ain't slow down. We
Yeah.
just add people on the ship. You know what I'm saying? Like
We
we ain't.
adjusted. We bend not break, and I
Yeah.
think what I was gonna say too is you have your priorities change, and as your priorities change, what I learned is there's this theory, or I don't know what you call it, mindset is they call it big rocks, little rocks, and sand. All you gotta do is you have a jar, and you gotta make all of that stuff fit in that jar.
Right.
And your big rocks, for us, right? Our big rocks is our family, our
Yeah.
career, our main thing. We keeping the main thing.
Yeah.
And then the little rocks is, maybe it's our hobbies or meeting up with friends and all of like, and the sand things is the little ticky tack stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
And, if you really prioritize that jar accordingly, I think, and it sounds like you got it down. You know what I mean? You got that jar
Hey, I'm
exactly
trying,
right where you making it work. Cause I
bro.
think that's the greatest thing about people in general too,
Yeah.
is if you put yourself in a corner and say, I gotta make it work, or that's it,
Right.
you're
Right.
gonna find a way.
Right.
You're gonna find a way.
You're gonna find a way. And it's funny that you say that because, boy, let me tell you, I had to pour that jar out plenty of times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, bro, I had to pour that jar out plenty of times, and too many big rocks, too many small rocks. Oh man, that's a lot of sand. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
no, so I love that. I never heard that one. I'm gonna keep that one too. Like, but it's true. Like but just like I said, man, like it ain't always gonna be done in the first shot. You know what I mean? Like it ain't always gonna be done in the first shot. And I think the biggest thing, because like, I done came across athletic trainers, that feel like I think one of the biggest questions that I've been getting a lot is like, how do you do this with a family at your age? You know what I'm saying? Like I made it work. Luckily, like, I got a significant other that understands, um, the amount of times being transparent that I like, yo, I feel bad sometimes, and I'm like, sometimes I can't. There was plenty of times at a point where like I just couldn't come home early. There was plenty of times at a point where like I knew I couldn't. How can I say? I knew I couldn't like have that weekend off. Like I'm just being honest. I'd have missed a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at a point like like where people are like, oh well, like what like what isn't that like tragic? And I'm like, no, it's not, because you want to know what? Like my son and daughter are every single day. Like I kid you not, like when they get out of school in 30 minutes And when I get home later on tonight, they first thing they're gonna say when they run in is, "Why aren't we going to a Jazz game?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so no, it ain't tragic. In the moment at those times when I was sacrificing a lot of time just to get, and this ain't the ceiling. You feel me? Like I'm still going. Like ain't no comfort. Like there's no comfort zone ever. You know, there's no cruise control ever. There's no content ever. Like life is great, and like, but the grind keeps
hungry.
The day that I go like this and I plateau, it's gonna be a retirement party. Here's the invite, Antoine. Let's go, pull up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like, and I think the biggest things of that is that, just like I said in the beginning, you gotta look at both sides, right? So it sounds crazy, but the way that I operate is like, I sacrifice to make sure that they don't ever live the life that we came up as. You feel me? Like, yeah, when you go to school, and I'm gonna be honest, they're the only black kids in their school here in Utah. When they go to school and their teacher is like, Leon's teacher is asking, "Yo, Leon, what did you do this weekend?" He's like, "I went to 2 Jazz games." Yeah, you did. You did. And the teacher's over here telling wifey, "Man, like I've been here for 30 years and I've never been to a Jazz game." Yeah. That's why I do it. So no, it's not tragic that I'm saying thing. Because you want to know why? FaceTime. You want to know why? Phone calls. Like, you want to know why? Like, I'm reading books to them through FaceTime. I'm like, we got technology nowadays. And you want to know something else? I'm not gonna throw myself a pity party, like not to get too off track, because guess what? I got players here who got kids, coaches who got kids. My VP got kids. Like our strength coaches got kids. Like, it ain't just me. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, it's you gotta see it from a full bird eyes view. That it ain't just the athletic trainers. And I'm big on advocating, but like your team around you, and when you got family like vibes around you that's able to maneuver and understand, that work-life balance gonna come about. You know what I'm saying? We and that's the answer to everything in a whole transparent way, that you got to look at it that way. It ain't just me in the morning at breakfast before shoot around on the road on FaceTime with the kids. Like, it's players, it's coaches working off to the side, going like this, like, talking with their significant other and everything. Like, it's a whole band of it. And I say that to say this: even the ones that don't have a family, like, they still got parents that they need to talk to. They still got friends that they need to talk to. So like, it ain't always about the fact that we got to lean towards the ones that got kids and got a significant other. Like, this game could get lonely for people that live that single life, just being honest. Like, the game could get lonely. Like, they don't see their family that much. Thanksgiving come around. Trust me, before this chapter in my life, you know how it was. Like, I'm missing Christmas, bro, because we got a game on Christmas while I was in the NFL. Like, we got a game on Thanksgiving, bro. Like, I'm at a point now that I know how to chef and all that stuff and know how to grill. But at that time in life as an intern, bro, I was barely able to make a PB&J. You feel me? I'm over here on FaceTime with Mom Dukes. Mom Dukes flying out to make me a meal. Like, it's crazy. Y'all came out for New Year's. Like, the game could get lonely. So like, at the same time, it's not even just from the family aspect for athletic training, but it's just like, make sure that, find a way that you can still see your loved ones and still be part of it. You feel me? So that's the biggest thing, bro.
I wanted to talk more about your personal journey, and because honestly, I remember the conversation of when you were transitioning from football, doing football, you playing football, being athletic for training for football, and you said, "I'm going to go to basketball." I was like, "Wait, hold on, what?" And then, and just so, kind of just talk about like your transition from football to basketball, but also, you could even take a step further back and say, like, how did you even discover athletic training was right for you?
Right. So short and sweet, from the football to basketball, like, football and basketball always been, my favorite sports. You know what I'm saying? But just from an athletic training standpoint, you see a lot in football. It's a collision sport. You know how it is. We played 4 years of collegiate football. It's a collision sport, so you see everything. Like you see traumatic injuries, you see heat, illness injuries. You making sure you maintain weight, lose weight in the off season, get stronger, proper nutrition. Big nowadays the mental health across all sports. But like specifically in football, like literally, like you see everything. So I knew I wanted to work football initially for X amount of years before jumping to basketball. I just knew basketball was going to give me that more of like, it's 15 to 18 people. So like, I'm going to get that more of like clinician to patient ratio, you know,
Oh, okay.
where I could execute like a lot more things individualized to make sure that they're good for 3 to 4 games a week, you know? So like the skill set that I learned a lot in football and that I learned a lot just overall in the profession of doing the extra certifications and everything, I was able to kind of mold the entire toolbox to like, what does this player actually need? It's helped me get to the point of like, okay, I got 7 ankle sprains. Like I got 7 ankle sprains in football, and like that's just kind of like how it is at times because it's just such a collision sport. You see a lot of acute injuries. Um, I got about 10 surgical post surgical guys in football where it's like, okay, like I'm able to get that experience. Here in basketball, knock on wood, you see a lot of like, yo, we got a back to back. So we just had a back to back. We played Friday and we played Saturday. Get him ready for Friday. Then you got to turn right around and get him ready for another game that morning. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's more of like, oh, this is the stuff that I learned where it's like maintain recovery, maintain body, like what we call, body homeostasis. What's going to get them ready mentally? Making sure that their muscles recovered properly in a short amount of time. What treatments is good for him that helps him go out there and does what he does on the court within a 24-hour window. You know what I'm saying? So like being able to do that now has been awesome. Aside from collegiate football where you got 125 kids.
Yeah.
And it's like I personally look at it as like, yo, there was times it was like triage. Like seriously, it was like triage. Like
I never even thought about it. Yeah, it's a lot of people.
But in the NFL, it's only like 53, 63 people, and you got about 6 to 7 athletic trainers with maybe 2 seasonal interns. So like, there's enough to go around for everybody. But at collegiate level, which I'm gonna be honest, like needs to get like completely better. Like they need to flip the whole script on how things are structured athletic training wise. Like it just needs to like it's a lot of kids that obviously as athletic trainers we want to take care of. But it's just they need the manpower, and not just the manpower in the hands for it. They are a realm that needs to start like paying highly because like there's some Power 4 schools out here who look for the experience that they look for, but then they'll throw you 40,000, and I'm like, okay, now that is outrageous. But we getting that's another. I digress because that's something else for another day. That's something else that's getting worked on in the profession and that we're pushing for everybody. But that's kind of the main reason. But what made me realize that I want to be an athletic trainer, aside from a lot of things we spoke about already, is I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I knew I wanted to be in medicine, but I also knew I wanted to stay in sports. And I hated chemistry, so I didn't want to go to med school. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I just always knew I was built for a profession that was just to help people. And I mean, I get the best of both worlds with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the best of both worlds, man. Like, I not only do I have the best seats in the house, not only do I get to watch some, like, not even like literally some of the world's greatest athletes. Not only do I get to travel and see like the world and everything, and get a lot of experiences and see a lot of moments that's awesome and meet a lot of great people. But I mean, yeah, there's just something about the grind each day that I just get a rush from. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people be like, yo, you're nuts. Like I was just talking with one of my old professors from my DAT program, and she was like, yo, like literally, like, yo, you really in it to win it. And I'm like, yes, like I really love this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just something about it. Like, you know, we was collegiate athletes. We loved game day. Like we was turned up in that locker room. You know how it was? Like
Mm-hmm.
getting to be around that as a professional and just being in that environment is just like something where it's like, yo, like this is what I was made for.
Yeah.
I was made for. This is what it is. Like just seeing these guys get ready and like they getting hyped and I'm doing game day handshakes with them and that's a plus. And there's some sticklers in our profession that's like, oh my God, like you guys love game day. You got yes, like if my man's is my if my man's catches an alley oop and he head top somebody, yes, I'm on the sideline like going like all of us are like
Uh-huh.
hey, you putting in all this work every day and you're not cheering for your own people. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Obviously, professional. Don't jump up on top of the chair and everything, but like I'm gonna clap for my people when one of our guys made the Rising Stars game and made it to Sunday in this new format. You know what I'm saying? He playing against the OGs and everything as a second year. Like that's exciting to see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing to see their accolades, you know, and they feed off that energy. So like just being able to give back to them, but then also like, you know, my first summer job was working at the Queens YMCA, you know, so like being able to help impact not just young people's lives, but like see them grow and
Mm-hmm.
see them go through things that help them go through life. And then I just got an invite from one of my previous athletes' wedding, like to go to in June. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like it's crazy. Like I remember seeing him as a freshman coming in, he couldn't even catch a ball. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
like when I went with previous players to the NFL combine when I was at Michigan State and like they asked me to come with them to take care of them, like I take pride in that. Like I just had another previous athlete from Michigan State that said, yo, I know you're in the middle of the NBA season, but this week is the NFL combine. Can you come with me? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, I can't. I'm in the middle of the season. But, you know, that means a lot that 2 years later, you still know that the care that I gave to you was genuine, you know?
Yep.
So it's just things like that. I think there's a million reasons why I love this. There's a million reasons why I'm doing it. But you know, cherry on top, like this was just God's purpose for me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many people out there is full of faith and everything, but I'm a big man of faith, you know that. It was just God's purpose for me, bro. Like it was my calling. Like I couldn't there was a point that I questioned myself. When don't you question yourself when you're doing something that you think you want to that you know you should be doing? Or like
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to get to the point where things are like, you know, where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how many times even when I was in the NFL as an intern, I'm questioning myself, like, yo, like I'm not saying that there's a point where, you know, I'm wondering like, yo, I'm trying to get to a certain point in life, like step by step, you know, like, but it's when you doing the right thing, it's an emotional roller coaster. Everything is going to be up and down and peaks and valleys, but
Mm-hmm.
not once did I say, oh yeah, something else is better for me. There was times I questioned myself in this, coming up to this point in life. There was times where I was like, you know, like maybe I should take another route in this, but there was never a time where I was like, I shouldn't be an athletic trainer.
Mm-hmm.
There's never a time that I said, nah, this ain't for me. There's never a time where I'm like, nah, this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So just like anything in life, you're gonna go through that roller coaster, but there was never a time that I was like, let me go back to school to be a, I don't know, freaking business administrator to work on Wall Street or like something like that. Nah, it was never that. Like this was God's purpose for me. This was God's calling, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else. And if I was to do it all again, I'll do it the same way.
I think, man, I think everybody in this world has a purpose, right? And once they discover that purpose, that's all it is for them. And like you were saying earlier, grind passionately. You can't grind passionately if you're not
Yeah.
passionate about what you're doing,
Right.
right? So I think you know what's crazy. I'm gonna bring this up. Look, I made some tea, right? I made some tea, and this is what the fact on the tea said:
Right.
be fearless. Know that all will be provided at the right time.
Fact.
And you were saying that, and I was like, God damn, did you make this tea?
Is that Lipton or Nestea?
It's Yogi, I guess.
Yogi, yeah.
Yogi. But yeah, man, and yo, like I said, you can't grind passionately unless you once you passionate about something that you want to do.
Right.
And I think for you specifically, man,
Yeah.
I like that faith. I think you have to have that faith. I know you love Nipsey Hussle, man, and that it's a
Yes.
marathon. It's
Hey,
a marathon, and it's a fact.
I'm telling you, what's crazy is that, even while we're on this like topic right now, like legit, like I just got that. I know it's
Oh, you
back.
got another tat?
Yeah, I got, yeah, son. So I got this tatted literally last week. So
Okay.
735. So, and I put it right here for a reason. Like the tattoo artist asked me like 10 times, like, is that where you want to put it? And I said, I want to put it there because no matter what, I can always see it. No matter where
Yep.
I turn it, I can always see it. If I'm working out, I can see it. If I'm working, I can see it. If I'm taping, I can see it. If I'm holding my kids, I can see it. If I'm driving, I can see it. So the 735 is the house I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Like in the South Bronx section. You know what I'm saying? So, that just always reminds me of the people and everybody that I grew up with. To just never forget where you came from. No
Yep.
matter what, you may think things are bad. I'm somebody that I just feel like I never have like a horrible day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always grateful just to open the eyes and step 2 toes down. You know what I'm saying? But 2 feet down. And then I got the marathon flag tatted right there in between, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got right here, the slogan "Be great."
AT.
But lately I've been saying "Be grateful." So it says "Be great" with the capital AT, but at the same time it says "Be grateful." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just what it is, bro. Like,
That's a good tattoo for you, man. For real.
oh yeah, and literally where I put it at, literally the tattoo artist kept asking like, yo, like, you sure you want to put it there? You sure you want to put it there? You sure you
Because
want to put it
I
there?
think in order to stay humble, man, you got to know where you came from,
Oh yeah, you
and
got
in
to.
order to be grateful, you got to know first of all where you at now. You got to appreciate where you at, and honestly, like I know you be posting a lot of stuff on like Instagram about being
Yeah,
grateful and everything like that too, and it made me every time I see it, it makes me sit back and be like, all right, well, how can I have a bad day? How can I feel bad about my situation, knowing how life used to be, knowing how hard I worked for it, how much hours I put in to be where I'm at.
right.
So you got to take that little moment in that grind, that when you grinding passionately, and it's a marathon, and you having faith, you got to take some steps. Take a step back and give yourself some flowers, give
100,
yourself some grace. You
100.
know, because it's like you said, it's a roller coaster. Because that high is great, but when you're at that low, you got to feel grateful. You got to have that faith. You got to feel passion.
And the
So
thing is just like you said, like I think what really made me like, want to start like what made me really want to start promoting gratitude is just because, yo, like just how many times do you see how many times do you see like in the news or like in social media where it's like, why is X amount of team or whatever team, why are they injured so much? Why is this?
mm,
Why is that? So I think, the biggest thing that ATs do, like we just all stick together, bro. Like obviously, like anything, there's like some outliers that try to ride for themselves, and that's it what it is. I don't ever shut the door on anybody. Like, and I think that's the biggest thing that people understand. I'm like, me, I may answer late, you know what I'm saying? I may answer hella late. I may answer 4 or 5 days later. I'm just being honest here. Like, how it goes. But like I never shut the door on anybody. Like I never look down on nobody. I never feel like that I'm above anybody because guess what? Like at the same time, I'm still going through a similar day that you're going through. I'm still going through the full long days. I'm still making sacrifices. I'm still
mm,
losing X amount of time with the family, knowing that we're in the season. So, what's the point of me making feel like that, just because you're there, I'm here, or I'm here and you're there, you know what I'm saying? That we can't have a simple conversation just to help our day. You know what I'm saying? So I think where the gratitude came from of me promoting is just the fact of the matter is a great mentor of mine that I was under at UTSA, and now he's at NC State, and you know, I talk to him on a weekly basis, bro. Like he kind of put a whole perspective to me after leaving the NFL as an intern and going into that college football realm at UTSA. You know, the biggest thing, like we was fighting, like we was fighting just to make that place better, and it's way better than what we left it. You know, especially right now. And I think the biggest thing is he always used to tell me, give grace. Every day I think I was like, what, like 26, 27, like I was like 25, 26. And I'm just like, bro, why don't we have this? Like, why don't we have that? Like, yo, this is all for the athletes. This is all for the athletes. Like, I was like, there was a point where I'm like, do I care too much? Like, and like, what's up? And he used to just sit there and be like, yo, you got to give grace, bro. Give it time and give grace, because they want that for the athletes as well, but give grace. But at the same time, he's like, remember where you came from. Like he used to personally tell me his story too. His name's Dan Bellamy. He's awesome. He's like, bro, I came from a JUCO. I came from Coppin State, where we was, you know, we really just couldn't get it. I had to make things happen. He's like, you was at Bethune-Cookman. You seen how it is. Like, he's like, give grace, bro. Like we gonna get there. And I think that's just one thing. Like lately, I just been wanting to really promote it out there of like, yo, like this is not a facade. This all comes from gratitude, bro. Like that's why when there's probably some people that follow me on Instagram that's like, yo, he's really gonna do this 82 times or put in game day gratitude. And I'm like, yes, because I know some people in this game, bro, that was in this part of the profession last year, and unfortunately they not here this year. Whatever the situation was, but guess what? Like they not here this year. You know what I'm saying? You think that they're not missing this? You think they're not seeing that? You know what I mean? Like, how dare I? You know what I mean? Like, yes. So that's why, yeah, I got a lot of gratitude for this, because people got to understand, like, wherever you at, not even just in this, wherever you at, it's a blessing, you know, especially if you in a better position that you was the year before, or the day before, or the hour before. Like
life can change in an instant.
Like it's a New York minute. You know how we say, like anything can happen in a New York minute. So that's why I'm just grateful, because at the end of the day, like, yes, I do got a lot of gratitude. Like what? Like, yes, I soak it in every game. Like pregame when the national anthem's going off, bro, I literally put my hands behind my back and close my eyes, and I just say thank you. And I'm saying thank you just consistently through the whole national anthem. Through the whole national anthem. I'm just like, thank you. And I just open my eyes and I'm like, okay, this shit's not a dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always did that. Always do the sign of the cross walking out, even when I was at Michigan State, because that's huge too. I'm like, yo, like, what? Like, this is Michigan State football, like top college football. Like, in the NFL, and I feel like it stemmed, to be honest, bro. I feel like, you know, you came to visit me with the Vikings, and you came on the last game, if you remember, when we played the Bears. I didn't soak it in enough, because you want to know what I was doing? Thinking too much about the future. Thinking too much about the future. How many times was I sitting there that weekend telling you, yo, like, I'm playing on my next move. 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 I'm telling you, Josh, Judens, I'm telling all y'all, like, I'm Big Jim, Tim. I'm like, I'm playing on my next move. I'm playing on my next move. And what happened? Like that, bro. Boom. Like that. That was the last game. Was all of us taking pictures on the field. And I'm not downplaying any experience I got, but I took it for granted, bro. What I thought I was gonna be in the I thought I was gonna be in the NFL for straight. And what happened? Not one opportunity. And I feel like that was a huge eye-opener and lesson of like, yo, no matter where your feet are, you be there and you be grateful for it. And you maximize the experience. So that's why I say gratitude all the time. That's why I say be grateful. That's why it's tattooed on me now. That's why, bro. Because you got to. You get so lost, especially at the young buck. You know, early on. What was I, like 22? That age was like 22. Like man, come on, man. Like it was
That was a
almost
good time.
it was a great time. It was a great time. Don't get me wrong. It was a great time. It was a great time. It was awesome. But like, even with those mentors still playing a big time in my life to even get me up to this point, I told myself I'll never take that. I'll never take it for granted ever again. I'll never just be in the moment of like my wildest dreams, and I'm like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's
Yeah.
next? Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? I was so busy on the what's next that when that last game finished and I came home to y'all and we was and then y'all left and I realized, oh, I only got 2 months left to be an intern here.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Like
That was fast.
that was fast. And
Yeah.
like my mentor at the time, who's literally like a father figure to me now, it's like, hey man, like I'm gonna start throwing your name into some jobs, bro. But like, ain't not really too many NFL jobs open right now. And I'm like, damn. Like, Lee, I'm like, damn. Like for real? He's like, yeah, this cycle is not moving, man. He said, but don't worry, like, just keep doing your thing. I got your back for life. And he really do. Like, I get lunch with him every time I go to Minnesota, bro. Like, but like I told him the same story. I'm like, bro, like I tricked that off. Like, not in a bad way, but like personally, I tricked it off. So that's why I say gratitude, bro. I know that was a lot, but like it's the truth.
I think, man, like you need to have those low moments.
Right.
You need to have those low moments, because if you don't have those low moments, you can't have the high moments, or at least you won't be able to appreciate it and learn from it. I think
Right.
a lot of people are afraid of failure,
Right.
and they think failure is a bad thing, but failure is a good thing, because like you learn so much from that.
Right.
Like, well, but yeah, man, yeah, having those failures, I think plays a big role in a lot of your successes. And I think
Right.
it's also how you kind of understand or figure out that this profession, or whatever you're doing, is for you. Because
Right.
if you can go through the failures and say like, okay, well, wasn't I'm going to go through those failures and I'm going to come out better. I'm going to learn from them. You
100.
got to learn from them. So
Right. You got to. And I think the biggest thing is just the fact of the matter is like learning from them is the biggest part. Like you can learn from it and you could grow through it and you don't make that same mistake, then hey, like you understand. But like there's no way that you could understand like how to get better without going through that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the biggest thing is just I never regretted the fact that I had to go through that feeling of, especially like when that last day came. But I understood that that wasn't the end of my story. I'm like, I'm just getting started. You know what I'm saying? So like my New Yorkism, if you want to say, was like, it's all good. Next.
yep.
Like
Next.
here we go. Like
Yep.
I was in my feelings for like a week. And then I was like, well, guess what? Like the biggest thing is that now you did what you had to do. Like you got the right people behind you. You did this. Like you got into that. Like I was the first King's College athletic trainer to get a seasonal.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
I was the first one to get a seasonal. There was people that got summers. I was the first one to get a seasonal. I was the first one that experienced an entire season of the NFL from King's College.
Wow.
Not only was that the case, but I was with one of the most award-winning and best staffs in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Till this day. And even to this day, look how I got here because of them. You know what I'm saying? So I know personally, I thought I tricked it off, like just from the fact of like I took it for granted and didn't realize what was in front of me because I was looking so far in the future, and that's why I don't do that no more. And I haven't done it since. But at the same time, I had to get back in my bag, as people say, and say, yo, like, we good. This was only your first year as an certified athletic trainer. This is only the beginning, bro. Open that laptop and let's plan the next move to make sure you get back to where you want to be and you keep pushing to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I understood that like yo, I'm not just trying to be an intern my whole life. Like, we got to make moves. We got to make moves. We got to make moves now. Like, here we are. You know what I'm saying? So I think the biggest thing that I still got to this day is this Vikings book. I wish I brought it with me just to flash it. It's a Vikings notebook, and I call it my marathon book. Way before Nipsey Hussle passed away, just always listened to him, like even while we was in college. And it's called the Marathon Book. And from the point of that first day, after being in my feelings for one whole week, being honest, I started planning out, and I'm planning out, and I'm planning out. And I still got every page in there to the point that the ink is kind of smudged now. From March 24th, 2017, a week after I was done with the Vikings.
Wow.
A week after just like trying to figure out like, okay, like, I got a little too cocky. I thought I was going to have an NFL job and whatnot, but guess what? Slap in the face, back smack, get back to reality. Let's go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I always write down everywhere that I've been, everywhere that I planned out. I got interview notes in there from interviews that I did, jobs I didn't get.
Wow.
Notes on how I could have done better in that situation. Notes how I could have done better that year. And it's all the way up until now. And I'm at the point of my second year in the NBA. And I always just go back in there and just flip through. And I still got blank pages in there from 2017. I still got blank pages in there. And I think it's something that I hold dear to me simply because not only does it remind me of the grind and each step that I did, it allows me to share experiences, especially with students who may hit me up and say, man, bro, I'm trying, and I'm just not. I'm like, listen, bro, I've been in your shoes, bro. I've sent them emails. I sent 25 emails a day. I'm sending LinkedIn messages before LinkedIn got popping. Like, I'm sending Facebook messages. I'm asking people to put me on. I'm telling people like, yo, just get me in the building. Get me on an interview, and that's it. Like I'm using my last dollars to go to conferences and whatnot. I done did it, bro. I done did it. I done had to live at my mom's crib for a couple months in between transitional jobs. I'm being transparent here because this is what we're talking about. I done still had to ask my mom for money coming up into this at certain points. You know what I'm saying? Because she believed in me and understood, like, nah, like, you do what you want to do. Like, don't just take any job. You do what you want to do. There was a point where I was like, I'm just gonna be a swimming and I'm not knocking swimming and diving athletic trainers, but that wasn't my goals.
Yeah.
There was a point where I was just like, yo, I'll take a swimming and diving job. I'll take whatever. Like, I'll take a clinic job. Like, and I'm not knocking physical therapists either. And I know it's better relationship between physical therapists and athletic trainers now, but there was a point where, coexisting wasn't too much in the plan. But like, there was people that was telling me like, yo, you're not about to get a big time job with just as an athletic trainer. You better go back to school and go get a PT. And there was times where I was like, maybe you're right. You know what I'm saying? But then, who is this person telling me this? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get in my bag real quick. I'm humble, but like, who are you to tell me that?
Yep.
PT school's a lot of money at the time, and like I was already in the loans and all that stuff. Like, I'm like, we're not doing that. We sticking to plan A. Plan A. And here we are. Plan A still working. And it ain't done. I want to emphasize people, like, it ain't done. We just at a point where like we still going and this is it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's at every point it's never been it's always been, every experience has been this.
Yep.
Trending on the charts, bro. So like
fall forward.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, I think the biggest thing is just like overall, like in a summarization is just it's just keep going, bro. Like, it's like too many people get to a point in their journey where it's like they want to stop. You know what I mean? And it sounds cliche, but like you really just got to keep going. There's a point in journeys, you know how it is, especially being an entrepreneur. I done, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just like for real. Like you flipping houses, you getting units and whatnot.
Appreciate you, man.
I'm giving you your flowers just as much, bro. I think the biggest thing is just whatever you do, just go hard in it. And whatever you do, just pour into it. Because I think our generation is just different when it comes down to being go-getters. I can't tell you the amount of times at conferences that generations above us, way older than us, that was like, oh man, like, you know, I wanted to pursue that so bad, but XYZ happened. And I just said, let me just go through this. And I'm like, man, I feel bad for you. I tell people that. I'm like, yo, honestly, don't take this the wrong way. I feel bad for you. Because I never want to feel that.
And that regret.
And that's why I'm grateful to have the people around me and have the significant other that I have and have the family around me and like people like y'all. Like so many people got regrets in this game. So many people got what ifs in this game. Ain't no what ifs. Like, you ain't got one life to live. Like, you gotta live it to the fullest, bro. So just go get it, no matter what it is. Not even just as an athletic trainer. It just so happened to play out that that's the profession that I'm in, but like in whatever it is, bro. So yeah, man. That's the biggest thing, though.
Well, I think that marathon book needs to be published, dude. You need to be you gotta add author to that title.
Yes, man. Manifesto, man. It's just crazy because like like I kind of touched on too, just to conclude that part. I was the first one with the Vikings and as a seasonal. And I'm just gonna be honest and just say like King's College to the rest of programs of like Ohio State and all that, everybody's like, where's King's College? And I just used to say, you ever watch the show The Office? Yeah, Wilkes-Barre Screen. You know, being able, one of my mentors from King's, if you remember him, named Dave Marchetti, like he always told me when I got that job, he's like, just remember, it's not just your last name on that, it's us on that too. So go do your thing. I take a lot of pride into the fact of being, I'm just going to humbly flex here. After that year that I went, them dudes called me back every year saying, yo, you got anybody for us? You got anybody for us? Who ended up going through it? Andrus. Who ended up going through it? B. Hicks. I done put on so many young bucks in this, just being honest and humble. I done put on a lot of people just from the simple fact of getting the job done somewhere previously, you know? And that's why I still do it. I'm like, yo, like, it ain't just about me. Like, I've been in the NBA for 2 years, and I got people who call me from other teams. It's like, yo, I got an opening. You got anybody? And I'm like, bro, like, that's just coming from the fact of how you are as a person, and coming from the fact of the work that you do, which is why I keep going. Like, you don't know what you're gonna be able to set up for the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is, bro. And people got to understand that just a little bit more. I think that's missing nowadays of like that selflessness on why you do things like this. Like, that's being selfless, being able to work hard for the next person, being able to set up for the next person. You know how much of a flex it is that not only do I control my own destiny, but I'm able to put somebody on. Like, I love putting people on. I just got off of the phone 2 days ago putting 2 people on.
Like, it's like watching your kid grow, man. It's like, look at you making me proud. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's crazy. And like, I tell people, like, even like students that I mentor or like old students, I'll be like, yo, listen, man. Or hey, listen, miss, listen, man. And like, what's up? Like, they don't owe me nothing. They'll be like, yo, I owe you so much. Like, thank you. I'm like, my only thing to you is don't F this up.
Yep.
I don't want nothing from you except don't F this up. I don't want nothing from you. You don't need, I don't want nothing from you. I'm doing this off the genuine, and it's always about the people, and it's always about the relationships. And guess what? You're going to keep climbing this ladder to the point where I may call you in the future and say, I got another young buck, the same way you was a young buck.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you had AT at University of Oklahoma football. And guess what? My young buck, who I'm bringing up in this right now, wants to do Oklahoma football. What's up? Like, we talk, and it always works out. Because guess what? I don't look for nothing else. I don't look for you to give me no shout out. The shout outs are great, but I don't look for you to feel like you need to thank me in every single thing that you do. And which is great. It's awesome. Like, it makes me humble. It puts a big smile on my face. But at the end of the day, the easiest part of anything that I always say is that you got it. After you get it, what you gonna do with it? I pass you the ball.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep scoring. You're gonna keep getting rebounds. You're gonna keep what you doing with it. So my biggest advice that I tell them is don't f this up. That's the best way you could pay me back. Don't f it up. Because
Yep.
guess what? You're gonna be paving the way for somebody else, bro. So
Damn.
yeah.
Well, man, the last part of this whole thing is the what we try to do is we try and focus on you, and basically everything that you said thus far is putting everybody that's going to listen to this on, and they're going to take away something from it, but we also want to give back to you. You know what I mean? And how we do that is basically like we try and talk to you about like what's your ultimate goal, and kind of just talk through how you want to get there and how you can achieve that, because through this the idea is to also bring people together, because like you said, the network is a very important thing. So we might know people, you might know people, and then the more people that get together, it might work out. So what's your ultimate goal? What's the highest level you can achieve in athletic training? But what's your ultimate goal in this whole thing?
To be honest, man, like it's the last couple years, it changed so much, bro. I honestly, I'm at a point now where I know I do want to be a head AT slash VP of like performance and healthcare for an NBA team at some point. I want to be able to create a staff that has just as much passion to want to give back, has just as much selflessness to want to reach a common goal.
Mm,
I want to be able to have a program where I could have at least one intern a year, where we start that same deal like how the Vikings, how my people with the Vikings did, how Eric Sugarman and all of them did, where they got so many people in the game right now still, that started under them, that are doing big things at all levels. I want to get to that point where like the head AT, also VP, moving up into that, where I'm just able to build something great, have that work life balance for everybody on staff, no matter what it is, making sure that you don't lose yourself. Even with that being the title goal and the building professional goal, I also want to continue to to raise a great home. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Um, I want to ensure that that every athlete that I continue to work with each day, all the way up to climbing the title ladder and climbing the hierarchy ladder, that they know that Lionel Rice has your best interest.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Has your best interest for your performance, your healthcare, but you as a human being. I want to continue pushing the narrative of mental health is just as important as physical, and as physical health. You know, but at the same time, overall, I just want to keep being an advocate for our profession. Like I said, like it's gotten way better across the years, but people still think that all we do is fill up water and tape ankles.
mm,
Even after the DeMar Hamlin situation, and shout out to the Bills and the Bengals staff, just unfortunate situation, but showing the world like superheroes. You know what I'm saying? Like people think that it's just all about the actual game. They think it's all about the actual sport. They don't see what we see every day of the hard work that these guys put in. Not just from a standpoint of maybe getting back on the court or back on the field or back to, you know, being physically active, but like the hard work each day. So like just understanding that I don't ever want to lose that is a big ultimate goal of like I never want to lose that drive. And I always just want to keep climbing the ladder in the sense of um just perfecting my craft as a clinician, but also never losing that strength that I have of being able to bring people together. You know,
mm.
they got a running joke here that I know everybody, which is great.
It's a fact.
Bro. Like it's a fact, man. Like it's funny. You know, our boy Tim, he sent me something the other day on social media, and it was like a video of like somebody was like, man, like, isn't it crazy? You got that one friend that you just go anywhere and everywhere, and it's just like they're like, oh, you know him or you know her, and like
Uh-huh.
it's crazy because like the rock star staff that work with here, they're like, yo, it's crazy. Like I'll show up somewhere, like they'll show up somewhere and be like, yo, like you know Lionel, and like they're texting me saying, no way you know this person all the way over here in Toronto or something, and I'm just like, yeah, I know them. Like took care of them, XYZ, this that, and third. Oh yeah, we was together. So like, you know, I take pride in the network, and I just want to continue just to be an advocate for the profession, just across healthcare. But at the same time, I want to continue to give back, bro. Like that's always been my ultimate goal is just being able to give back, being able to put people on, being able to continue to just build this profession in the best way, like from all aspects, not just in the NBA or not just anywhere that I've been, but I want to continue. You know, I still continue to like being honest. I still continue to talk with stakeholders and administrators from previous places that I've been on how to make the place better, on how to make sure that you know athletes are getting the best care and that athletic trainers are getting taken care of. Because I'm being honest, bro. Like the hard truth is that we're bottom of the totem pole at some places that you may think that we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be
Hmm.
at any place. Like if you can't have an athletic trainer, if you can't take care of an athletic trainer, you shouldn't have sports. And I'm always going to stamp that. And I'm always going to stand on that. You shouldn't have sports. If you can't have an athletic trainer and you can't take care of them for them to want to be there, and you can't give them the right resources or at least back them up in wanting to make the place better, you should not have sports. That goes for all levels, from secondary, youth, all the way up. So I just want to continue to be an advocate for that. There's some people that tell me that in the next 10 years they could see me being the NATA president, which is our organization president. I don't know about that. But you know, I never put a limit on myself. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to continue being an advocate. And it's never about leading from the front. I want to continue to keep being a leader in my own way. And it doesn't have to be a title or anything like that. I just want to keep pushing forward from all aspects. And as I already mentioned, as that ultimate goal continues to get worked on, of wanting to to be a VP of performance and healthcare in the NBA. You know, I also at some point I got my doctorate, so you know I want to be a adjunct professor just to give back in that realm too. You know, I already told Greg at Kings, I'm like, hey, the minute that y'all get a online portion of y'all program, like, not saying I want to just like teach different rehabilitation skills, clinical skills, but like I think something that gets missed even in all aspects of different degrees is like people skills. Like 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 we need to implement a class on like, yes, like you may not like people, but you need to know how to talk to people. You need to be trained in it. Like you don't just, you know, we can't be the ones that if somebody's leg, you know, unfortunately, knock on wood, is pointed the other way, we can't be the ones going, you know what I mean? We can't do this. It's a joke, but like we can't do it. But there's some people that will do it. Like it's great. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like some athletic trainers that were doing it's like, no, 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 we got to be the calm ones in the storm. Like,
Hmm.
so I kind of want to like get to the point where we can implement a class on like just doing things like this. Like, hey, here's scenarios, here's experiences. How would you go about it? How would you go about it? So it's not really a did you get an A or an F in the class? It's just a pass or fail, and you're gonna walk out of there with a lot more skills for the real world rather than just opening up a book. So
Mm.
it's in the works. I'll give it about 7 years. You know, I can't speak too much on it because somebody might try to steal the idea, but we're gonna get it popping to where like these new programs like we're able to implement something like that, you know, where it's not just put your head in the book and learn about anatomy, physiology, all the special tests, all the tapings, all the wrappings, all the evaluations, all the conditions. Like, no, okay, you know all that, but now how are you going to be able to use that on somebody that doesn't want to come on your table
Hmm.
because you don't know how to build a relationship? And sometimes people skills are missed, bro. People skills are missed. I think one of my good friends at Arkansas, she works with football. She says one of the first questions I ask these students when I'm interviewing them to be a student with football is, can you read?
Like
Can
book
you read? No,
or people? Oh.
you read. Like, can you read? Like, we good? Okay, cool. Like, if I send a text message saying being at 8 a.m., are you gonna text me saying I thought you said 9 when my text said 8? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not meant to be literal, it's meant to be like kind of figuratively, you know what I'm saying? Of like, hey, common sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we apply it to what we do each day? Because it's missed. It's missed. And we just got to make sure we just keep doing it, and it comes with the people skills. So that's really all the ultimate goals. Other than that, I just keep it going, stay authentic, stay genuine, grind passionately. And hey, at some point, bro, would love to hold up a NBA championship trophy with a parade. You feel me?
I get that.
Like we want
Add it
like
to the collection.
add it to the collection, bro. Add it to the collection. We love it. So that's all it is. But that comes with us helping and doing our part, because it takes everyone. It takes everybody, and it includes us, making sure that we do our best too. So that's the biggest thing, man. That's the biggest goals, bro. Like just keep, one step at a time, one step at a time. I'm in no rush,
Yeah. Well, listen, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I could talk to you forever, and I
Yeah,
forgot where I was for a minute. But I know, we got a couple babies to get to, so
yeah,
I'm
thanks.
gonna go ahead and just say thank you for taking the time out. You know what I mean? Just to take out and talk to us.
Absolutely.
Because I know we only did like 2 podcasts yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. I think this is the best conversation. Sorry, Josh. But I think this was a really great conversation, man.
Yeah, man.
And you had a lot of great things to say. I wish we could dive a little bit deeper in terms of like your ultimate goals, and because my saying is always, why not now?
Right.
Why not now? Because
Right.
I know you're the person too that once you put your mind to it, man, you're gonna get it. So everything you said here today in terms of your ultimate goals, and that's what you're about and what you're going to be doing and what you plan on doing, I have no doubt in my mind. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So
Right. Hey, no, man. Amen to that, man. I just want to close it out by saying, thank you as well for holding it. I mean, I hit you so quick saying, I want to do one for National Athletic Trainers Month coming up. And, like I said, I'm a huge advocate for the profession. So I just want to close out by saying, shout out to all the athletic trainers out there, all levels, bro. Like, everybody who knows me knows I support from every single level, like every single level, from youth sports to secondary to industrial to clinic setting to professional sports, collegiate sports, from NAIA to JUCO to D1, D2, D3, everything, man. High schools, big time shout out to the high school athletic trainers, man. Y'all do it better than, to be honest, I'm not just saying you do it better than anyone. You guys sometimes only have one person for so many athletes, and a lot that y'all put into. But the biggest thing that they do is that they introduce athletic trainers to the athletes that we end up getting, that collegiate ends up getting. So, the biggest thing that I shout out to y'all is that, keep painting the right picture for them as athletic trainers, because little do you know, they talk about y'all the most. They're like, yeah, my high school athletic trainer took care of me. And next thing you know, 4 or 5 years later, they're first round draft pick to an NBA team, and they still talk about y'all in the best ways. So, happy National Athletic Trainer Month. We're one of one, and not too many people could do it like us. And I'm not knocking any other healthcare workers, but nobody does it like us. Simple as that. Take pride in everything you do, and just be great. Be great, and don't let anybody try to dim our lights. And we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep fighting the good fight for our profession.
Happy National Athletic Training Month, man. Well deserved, well appreciated, and continue to make everybody proud, man. We're really proud of you, for real.
Love, bro.
Since day love one. You, man.
All right, broski. Hey, Josh, it was good meeting you too, man. If
you
I'm
too,
ever,
man.
Hey, man, yeah, absolutely. When I'm around, man, I'll tell Antoine and tell you when I'm in town so we can link up.
Yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely, man. Hey, y'all have a good night. All right. Hey, give love to the babies too, B.
We'll do too. You too, man.
I got you, bro.
All right, peace.
From doorstep to front lawn delight, IAR will make you right. Come on. Closing smooth, paperwork clean, we're the best you've ever seen.